Suthi Sariga and the whole Hindi team. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 2103rd day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guests are homeopathic lovers, students, and doctors. We have 3 sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi from 7:30 to 8:30. And from 8:30 to 9:30, we have the international session in English, and 9:30 to 10:30, we have the local language session in Malayalam. We are uploading the videos of the same on the very next day itself so that those who missed the session can watch it again, and you can subscribe the same without paying any money. The purpose of the forum is to take homeopathy to every home around the world. And today we have a discussion, and the topic of discussion is homeopathy for the millennium. The participants are Dr. Tejas Jain, Dr. Muktendra Singh, Dr. Sahani Sir, and the moderator of the session is Dr. A.K. Gupta. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. I am handing over the mic to the moderator of the session, Dr. A.K. Gupta. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh. I'm very delighted to take over as a moderator for this particular panel discussion on this 2013 continuous webinar and being on the panel discussion for today. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the participants, homeopathic lovers, guests, teachers, and students. And today's panel discussion is on homeopathy for the new millennium. As we have already seen, in the past millennium, there have been a lot of things which have come over, and homeopathy has taken over its new shape in the new horizon with acceptance in various fields. It is not merely about the future of medical system, it is about the future of compassionate, individualized, and holistic healing in a rapidly changing world. And I'm very, very happy to welcome our, panelist, that's Dr. Takeshwar Jain, who is the president, chairman of the National Commission for Homeopathy, Dr. Muktinder Singh. Sir, he's already there and is a renowned physician and teacher, and Dr. M.K. Sani, who does not require any introduction. Everyone, whosoever is joined with Ifph, he is very well known, and all around the world otherwise also. And he being the, in the Central Council of Homeopathy, working as a programmer for beginning. We are living in an era shaped by the artificial intelligence, evidence-based expectations, digital healthcare, and evolving patient perceptions. Amidst these transformations, homeopathy stands at an important crossroads. Where, sir, where tradition must meet innovation and philosophy must walk hand in hand with scientific advancement. To deliberate on these crucial dimensions, we are privileged to have with us 3 eminent personalities whose contributions have shaped education, policy, research, and clinical practice in homeopathy. And I extend my heartfelt welcome to Dr. Takeshwar Jain, Dr. Muktinder Singh sir, and Dr. M.K. Sani sir. The decades of wisdom and dedication continue to inspire the younger generation of homeopaths, as we've been seeing that IFPH has been promoting the youngsters also. Let us begin this meaningful dialogue with the hope that today's discussion will not only provide direction to students and the practitioners, but also strengthens our collective vision for the future of homeopathy. So, Dr. Takeshwar Jan is there. We can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Dr. Takeshwar, sir, welcome.
Thank
So,
you, sir. Thank you.
being the president of National Commission for Homeopathy, so we would like to start with you. As the president of the National Commission for Homeopathy, how do you envision the role of homeopathy in the healthcare system of the new millennium?
Good evening to all, and thank you very much for inviting me over here. As a chairman of commission, what I envision about homeopathy for the new millennium, I would say that commission is working on four important components. The most important one is the standardization of education and bringing quality in education. For that, we have already implemented competency-based dynamic curriculum, which is now prevalent and implemented in all the colleges of India. And another important program for that specific component is about the teachers training. And yet another important program is the global benchmarking. So that part is already done by the commission, and we see homeopathy as a universally accepted evidence-based healthcare ecosystem in the coming millennium. And the commission is constantly working in that direction only because we do understand, we know about our laurels, about our virtues, about qualities. But the problem is that whatever qualities we have, whatever virtues we have in our system, they are not exactly transpiring to the population of country. And that is where we want intervention, not only from the side of commission, but from the side of fraternity also. We all are working individually, but we are not working collectively. And that is where the major unbridging is. And that is where commission wants to play a role and to bridge all those individual forums, into a collective manner and to build a system for the country of India where we can answer not only for the public health, community health, research, evidence-based research. So many topics are there. We will need to work collectively. We are working very good individually, but whenever chances come, whenever the skeptics are heavy, we don't have any answer. Our colleges are doing good. We are working constantly on improving the infrastructure of the colleges, about the standard of education. We have tried to focus more on the research activities, and for that we have already made a mandatory provision for all the colleges to have research methodology department, not only on the postgraduate level but on the undergraduate level also, because we want a young student to develop or inculcate quality of research from the very beginning. And we want to generate evidences so that we can answer very clearly to the skeptics. And not only that is not the only reason, but we want our people to understand what homeopathy is, what are the laurels of homeopathy, whatever quality, whatever virtues are there within our science, they are limited to a very specific kind of segment. It's not reaching to the level, to the grassroots level, or to the ultimate core population of India. Still, our reach is very limited. And that is the reason why we have made many changes in the curriculum itself. One of the major important aspect of the curriculum is the community outreach. We want our students from the very beginning to go in the community, to see what kind of sufferings are there, to see what kind of disease expressions are there, and how these disease expression can be combated effectively with homeopathy. And that's why we want our student to go in the primary health center, to the community health center. And we have made all these provisions mandatory for every student, starting from the first BHMS to the internship. Everywhere, all these duties are now made mandatory. These are some of the reforms which are being taken up by the commission. One of the important aspects was the competency-based dynamic curriculum, where we wanted our education system to get out of the classes. We don't want a student to remain sitting only in the classes. We want them to go in the wards, in the OPD, and we want them to face the real-time situation. Unless they are seeing the real-time situation, real-time case phenomena, their confidence cannot generate. And that is where commission is constantly working. But the problem is that the kind of support which is required from the system, from the organizations, from the institution, that is somewhere lacking. whatever regulations we have made, whatever provisions we are doing in the education, unfortunately, still they are not exactly conceived not only by the institution, but by the system also. And this is where we are leaking. We see many people are producing tremendous cure, miraculous cures. They are making all kind of claims, all kind of commitments. They are being developed, but still those all laurels, those all duties of homeopathy are not reaching to the masses. And unless we are reaching to the masses, we cannot come out from an alternative system to a core system. The target of commission, the objective of commission is to convert homeopathy from an alternative system to a core system. This is where we are working constantly. And for that, certainly, we need support from the faculty, from the students, from the practitioner, from the organization, from the colleges, from the statutory body, from the research council. Everyone need to work collectively. Then only we can see homeopathy as a science of millennium, and in the running millennium, we can contribute as a perfect, developed, a validated scientific healthcare system. So this is what we are thinking, and we are constantly working on this. But to achieve all these targets, certainly we need support from every corner. So this is what I think about the coming millennium.
Well, thanks, Dr. Takeshwar, for giving your insight on this particular very topic. And we do agree that, I mean, we need a collective effort from all this. And taking this particular step further, I would like to ask Dr. Mukhinder Singh, sir, you have spent many years shaping young minds in homeopathic education. What changes have you observed in the mindset of students entering the profession today?
Thank you, Ifph, and it's my privilege to be part of this panel discussion with such an esteemed thinkers and think tank of homeopathy. Yes, sir, you rightly said that Millennium, as Dr. Tarkeshwar Jain, my friend, has really covered up the whole topic, that how the NCH is trying to enforce rather the and what we'll say we to execute their plans. So that is very important. But when I, as a faculty in a college, when I see those things, as rightly said, that with faculty, the college managements and the our system is not that receptive. So I see that the struggle of the students is about that there should be relaxation in the admission process, there should be relaxation in the exit test, there should be relaxation in such and such things. So that upbringing, that quality, we are in a transformation phase. And in this transformation phase, the people who are doing it for years, they are not accepting it as a uh, the as a development. They are taking it as an obstacle. And in that mindset, I see that students, they are, since we are getting the need qualified students, we are getting the better quality intellectual students, and that is seemingly being reflected in the outcome. But if I talk like a homeopath in previous years, when we used to get those students, the zeal and zeal to learn homeopathy was seen more in the previous students. But now students are into that curriculum, and out of that curriculum, we are producing a new generation of homeopaths. Because if you agree me, that 50 years down the line, we hardly had any institutionally qualified physicians with us. Then in next 30 years, we had a mixture of those. But now in present scenario, almost 80 to 90% of practitioners, they are the institutionally qualified physicians we are getting in the field. And out of those, we see that many doctors, many pass outs, as we see that many female doctors, very few percentage of the female doctors, they actually practice. And out of that volume, very few hardcore homeopathy practitioners we see. So that zeal to learn the homeopathy there is a big threat that as we are undergoing the modernity of the system, that core art part of homeopathy is definitely that we learn through that Gurukul style by the teachers who are practitioner as well. So that gap of practitioner and teacher, many a times the good, as Dr. Tarkeshwar Jain sir has told, that people are talking about florals about their practice, but they are not contributing to the system. The researchers who are contributing to the system, they are not having that much access to the patients. So their sample size, their things are the scholars in our CCRH. So most of them are not very renowned practitioners. So that gap, as CBDT has tried to bridge that gap. So after completing that thing, when this batch of students will come out, so we definitely hope that more scientifically bent, more research oriented, and more logical practitioners would come. So I see a bright future of homeopathy, with a caution that yes, the institutions, the stakeholders into the academics and institutionally, they should take it in a positive sense. Otherwise, the quality of input we are getting is definitely far better than the earlier, because I remember when we entered, our seniors were even 10th pass. Then it was a free that you can just, you need to pass out in +2 and you can be a homeopath. But now this inclusion of this parameter of need, a certain percentile of need, has definitely upgraded the input level of our student, because now we are not getting a left out students, but we are getting cream and good students also. So I hope that this millennium, the coming time of homeopathy, would be more acceptable to the society, and in all frames of homeopathy we'll get a better students and better academicians and better researchers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mukhinder Singh, sir. I mean, you have very rightly said the quality of students presently, I mean, joining homeopathy, they are a little better than, I mean, quite better than before in the sense of their quality of education which they're coming from. And their basic intent is to be a doctor. And one aspect which you have raised very rightly, that I mean, the lot of girls are on this side, and unfortunately, most of them are not able to practice homeopathy, for which we do have to see that, I mean, that kind of thing should be looked into upon and work upon on that. Now, coming to Dr. M.K. Sahni, sir, he's past chairman of the Education Committee, Central Council of Homeopathy, having contributed extensively to homeopathic education policies. What do you consider the greatest challenge facing homeopathic education in the present era? Dr.
Thank you,
Sahni.
Dr. Gupta. Thank you, Dr. Gupta, for your these important questions. In my opinion, I agree with Dr. Tarkeshwar Jain, what he has said, that the greatest challenge facing homeopathy education today is maintaining balance between the classical foundation and modern expectations. No doubt, Central Council has envisioned, the National Commission of Homeopathy has envisioned the greatest, and they are doing a remarkable job. But in the present era, where we are living in a time where students are exposed to enormous information through digital platform, artificial intelligence, and rapid academic resources. So while this has increased accessibility to knowledge, it has also reduced the habit of deep study reflections and patient observations. Homeopathy cannot survive merely through the modern memorizations and remedy or protocol or protocols. It requires understanding of philosophy, careful case analysis, and the art of individualization. Unfortunately, many students today are under pressure to achieve quick success without developing sufficient clinical maturity. So this is another challenge, is in a growing distance between the theoretical education and bedside clinical training. A student may know the organ theoretically, but unless he learns how to listen to the patient with empathy and patience, true homeopathic understanding remains incomplete. Therefore, our educational system must look for the strengthen clinical exposure, encourage critical thinking, and promote ethical practice and create teachers who inspire rather than merely instruct. I see that National Commission of Homeopathy has started a teachers training program for, and they are doing a commendable job for this in this time. So the things are there, what I said earlier, that is maintaining a balance. This is very important. So the future of homeopathy depends not only on institutions, but on how deeply we prepare patients to become the human through thoughtful physicians. And this will be the wonderful area where every institutions at the college level and the commission level and the student, they must have a coordinated effect that will help to modernize, that will help to create a balance. So with these thoughts, I conclude my talk now. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sani, by giving your insight, and that is on your expertise, which you have been having in the CCH earlier. You have summarized in a very nice manner. Taking it further, Dr. Takeshwar Jain, sir, whatever we have transpired from the up till now discussion we had, we need to look forward for something in a better manner. And today's students are exposed to technology-driven learning and evidence-oriented medicine. How can homeopathic education evolve while preserving its classical philosophy? This remains a question which comes from a lot of people.
This question is really important, and we are constantly interacting with the students also. We make visit to the colleges. We directly have interaction with the students for the UG education and for the PG education. Indeed, the students are these days very sharp since they are coming from the NEET category, and for PG also they have to go through AIPGT and then only they come to the colleges. So the sharpness, the skill of a student is already very high. And of course, this is the world of technology. Everywhere we see the profound effect of artificial intelligence, and a lot of technological innovations are going on. And homeopathy cannot be spared from such kind of innovation. But certainly, we have to keep a balance. We have to contain our basic philosophy at one side, but we have to use the gadgets, technological advancement, innovation as a neutral analytical gadget or as a neutral analytical tool. We cannot totally rely on technology. We do understand that our science is totally based on the concept of individualization. So wherever technology is required, like these days, using artificial intelligence in repetition is very common, and it makes your work faster. Whenever you have to search a rubric or whenever you have to find out a keynote symptom in the Mathematica, it's just the moment of seconds. Earlier, when we used to work in the orthodox manner to search a Mathematica, to search a repertory, or to do repertorize a case, it used to require a lot of efforts. Although I understand, I have still a bit of orthodox mentality, because when we browse to the literature, when we go page by page to the Mathematica or page by page to the repertory, it is indeed a cumbersome process, time-taking process also, but at the same time, it gives a kind of different kind of energy and a different kind of receptivity in your own mind. And many times, because I still remember the words of Dr. R.P. Patel, who used to say that always read one rubric from the repertory. Always read one rubric from the Kant repertory, and always read one Mathematica from the Kant's lecture of Mathematica. But these days, these students are so fast, so innovative, so advanced in technology that everything is in their palm. Whether it is Mathematica or in the repertory, they quickly go and browse and find the symptoms and do the repertorization. Indeed, the things are getting faster, but somewhere we need to keep a balance also. We need to take help of artificial intelligence, technology. Indeed, it is required, but at the same time, we need to preserve our core classical philosophy also. Unless that balance is being developed, we cannot assume a good homeopath to come out. We can have the techno-savvy homeopath, but to produce a good classical homeopath, we certainly need a balance. So wherever technology is required, definitely we are also insisting now on the technology, and our curriculum is developed in such a way that technology is indeed an essential part of curriculum, because a lot of activities now we are doing virtually and a lot of digital interventions are there. Every student has to enroll himself on the Ayush education portal, from where they are generating the very specific and individualized Ayush ID, and the entire life cycle of the student is governed from that Ayush ID, right from the enrollment to the passing out and getting the degree. Everything is now digitally controlled. We have the benefits also, because of that digital intervention, we are now able to check all kind of admissions which are done as per the, or which are not done as per the regulations or in the contravention of regulation. This is the strength of digital involvement. But at the same time, we totally do not rely upon the technology itself. We always inspire a student to stay limited in your classes, attend your classes regularly, your tutorials, your seminars. A lot of things we have created, like teaching is now simply not limited to a classroom lecture. Beside classroom lecture, we have the small group creation, where the small group of people are there who are interacting with the teacher prolifically, where they can raise their doubts. We have the tutorials, we have the role models, we have the role presentation. Even the assessments is now simply not limited to the copywriting or the viva voce. Assessment has many parts. Teaching learning has many parts. There are lot of teaching learning methods are developed, and which are the integral part of our education also. These are all technological advancement. We work upon the OSCE, objective structured clinical examination. We work on OSCE, objective structured practical examination. We work on direct observation of procedural patterns, DOPs. So all these are technological advancement for which the students are aware and they are working on this. We don't want them to work only on a, while they are facing any kind of practical. We don't want to work on a single time setting. We want them to go on the multiple station to observe the things properly, to see the real time environment, and then create their diagnosis. We want them to be technology enabled. We want them to be language enabled. We recently introduced a very good elective in BHMS, which is related to the communication skill, the interpersonal skill, how to communicate with the patient, how to develop the interpersonal relations, and how to raise your queries. We want our student to be very effective in the language also, because we do understand homeopathy is all about verbal dialogues, how you interact with your patient. That's something is very important. And that quality we want the student to inculcate from the very beginning. And they should be confident about their diagnosis. They should not only work on the homeopathic diagnosis, they should equally work on the nosological diagnosis wherever the biological parameters are required, wherever the lab markers are required. They should be equally corroborated. And in our educators, in our teachers also, we are trying them to replace certain terms like vital force it is indeed our basic concept. But if we connect vital force with the biology, there are now new terms, human genomics or the network biology. There are, or the expression of epigenetics. Now, this is where the vital force can clearly be connected with the concept of biology. And in the modern world, when we are facing or when we are working with hand on hand with the modern medicine also. So there we don't want our student to feel any kind of inferiority. And that is why we are developing them as a complete professional, so that they are able to sustain any kind of pressure in the clinical setting and the clinical environment. And we do understand now the government is looking for the integration. So when you come to the medical pluralism, or when you talk about the multiple sciences working together, then we do need to understand the language of each and everyone. And that is where the commission is constantly working. We are constantly providing training to the teachers also. But the unfortunate part is, as Dr. Singh has very clearly pointed out, that through need, definitely we are having a good quality of a student. But the problem is that the sustainability is very low. Not only he talked about the females, that females, although we do understand that nowadays the percentage of admission of female student is much more higher in comparison to male student. When I go to the colleges, in the classroom of 100, nearly 60 to 70% are female. 30% only are males. But out of those 60-70% females, eventually when they are being passed out, very few sustain in our system. So that is something a very serious phenomena, because having student from NEET will not only justify the objective unless they stay in the system only. And the staying in the system requires a lot of confidence, a lot of quality, a lot of perseverance. If that is not there, they cannot stay in our system. And that is where we need to work collectively. The responses, we have created the policy. Even the CC has created beautiful policies. Commission has further advance the work of CSCCH, and we have developed certain regulations, certain guidelines. But the problem is that the way it should have been conceived by the colleges, by the faculty, is still requiring a lot of effort. We conduct a lot of teaching training programs. Sir, I tell you very honestly that whatever we have, after taking charge in the commission in 2021, I have conducted teaching training program all over India, and multiple teachers, multiple times they have been trained. But when they come to us for the faculty interaction, unfortunately, whatever we have been training them is still, this is not properly conceived and eventually not percolating in their education. I have virtually attended many classes. I have went to the classroom of some of the teachers, how they are teaching, the way their body language, the use of technology to the teachers is like that: going in the classroom, starting the projector, putting up a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation, and then simply reading out. Now, this kind of teaching is certainly not going to help. And I can say, sir, I am in this modern world, but I can still say that the quality of teaching that I had in my student life, or you had in your student life, that motivation, that inspiration, that quality, that commitment, this is unfortunately lacking. And unless that part is getting stronger and stronger, we cannot expect our student to become a successful, competent professional. So this is where an honesty is required in the faculty, for the faculty development also, and for the quality also. We have made various provision. Nowadays, no faculty can come to colleges without qualifying National Teachers Eligibility Test. This is a mandatory provision. And the purpose is very simple, that we want only those teaching professional in the teaching faculty who are having that kind of aptitude. And this test is about the aptitude of teaching. If you pass out this, if you see the syllabus of this test, it is all about the aptitude of teaching. We want to examine what kind of aptitude the teacher is having. So these many parameters are there. For checking, we have checks in every point. Like a student, if he is passing out BHMS, what kind of education he had in BHMS? Because we do understand there are many private universities, many such institutions where BHMS is also running from home. People are not turning to the classes. This is a very unfortunate phenomena. So we want to test what kind of education you had at the level of BHMS. That is the reason why national exit test was proposed. But what happened, sir? It was likely to be implemented in 2023, but we had numerous amount of pressure from all the sectors of our own system, and eventually it got postponed. And still students are fighting that it should be implemented from 2027, 2028, 2029. So we talk about the quality, but having regulations, having quality parameters is not going to succeed anything unless it is being equally conceived by the students, by the faculty, by the colleges, by the principal, by the management, and eventually by the entire fraternity. So that is something is very rigorously required. And if that can be done, certainly there would be no way to stop homeopathic professional. This is what I wanted to say about this particular aspect.
You open up your heart fully regarding this, and it's a very,
this is a good forum, sir.
Yeah, it's a very, very crucial aspect of this which needs to be evaluated and worked upon. You have very rightly put upon that everybody wants the quality, but I mean, when it comes to give, I think people try to look on the other side. So getting it from further on, we would like to have Dr. Muktinder Singh sir, in an age dominated by quick information and digital dependence, how can students cultivate deep clinical observation and analytical thinking?
Yeah, see, Dr. Jain, Keshwar Jain sir has rightly pointed out certain things, that when we were students, our teachers were much more zealous and into the system. They had love for homeopathy, they had passion for homeopathy, they have that dedication for homeopathy, which is lacking in the new system. So now the teaching is more, even in the practice, not only in teaching. Patient is coming up with a lot of research done on the chat GPT. And it is unfortunate that we and it is rightly said that it is artificial intelligence. Your question to me is that our system is the repertorization. I used to always talk to my students that it is a GIGO rule, garbage in, garbage out. If technology is fed by garbage, the output would be garbage only. So this is what if we put intelligent query to ChatGPT, it will give some intelligent answer. But if we are asking bullshit, it will come out the bullshit. Why I'm raising this point is that nothing can replace human senses and human feelings. When we are learning through technology, we need to have more practical implication of that technology rather than a sum total, as we usually teach to our student that repertorization is not sum total of the rubrics. Same way, the practice and healing, treatment and healing are two things. So healing is not sum total of the information. Healing is something beyond that. We must understand this. So supposing a patient, as in earlier part of the today's session, I was taking Hindi session. Well, as you have told that how to relate it with the observation, I took an example. Supposing there's a child or a person coming to us with a very attractive behavior into the clinic. We call it that it is appreciation seeking, it is admiration seeking. But if we understand the person in front, sitting in front of us, have an intent, how from where that attractive behavior comes. It can come from sexuality. We see animals creating facade to attract the opposite sex. So that attraction is different. A greedy person, a salesman is coming and teaching us so many things and being so sweet and so kind to us to teach us. There the base is greed. And another is one who wants love, affection from you as your mother or your relative or family member. They talk something, आपके बच्चे आपसे प्यार से बात करते हैं, तो that is something different, and there is insecurity in the base. So we need to understand the between the lines when we are taking the case, when we are receiving a case. I used to say to my students that it is not the sentence they are talking. Say I take this example. He gave me rupees 10 when I needed it. Now, pressurizing upon he gave me rupees 10 when I needed, means this is gratitude. He gave me rupees 10. This can be thanklessness or that importance of rupees 10. I asked for 100 and he just gave me 10. So if it is impressed upon by he, then it is different. If it is rupees 10, then it is a different thing. Then when I needed the most. So this is something again different. So the same sentence talked about with stress upon a different word means different. So now this artificial intelligence, you will just type or you'll just talk to that. He gave me rupees 10 when I needed the most. So, but that feeling of, is it a gratitude? Is it a sarcasm? Is it that thankfulness or thanklessness? What is behind that is homeopathy. It is not the sentence, it is homeopathy. So that art of observation, that teacher-student relation, that respect for teacher and good practitioner demonstrating their excellent results to the students in the IPD setup or OPD setup, that is the only answer where we can save the soul of homeopathy. So it is the observation part, it is the soul part, which is more important rather than that. We always talk of that homeopathy is science and art. So art is something which need to be practiced through the which takes time to mature. So the new teacher and an old teacher, there are two different things. New practitioner and old practitioner, there are two different vectors. So same way. So when a teacher shows you, demonstrates you that how it is done, that makes all the difference. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, Dr. Tarkeshwar wants to add something.
Yeah, I wanted to add in the verbatim of Singh, sir. Sir, what exactly you said, what we look for and what we object for also. But the problem is that recently in PG education, we introduced a concept of EPA. EPA simply means entrusted professional activities. So we want our PG student to work under the direct supervision. And this is EPA has 5 levels working under the supervision to become a supervisor himself. But this is a journey. This is a journey of 3 years. At the end of 3 years, they are able to achieve the EPA 5, where they himself are now able to become guide. But on the very beginning, when the very first stage, we want them to work under the supervision of a teacher. A teacher should guide him, even if he's a PG student. He is a passed out doctor, he's a qualified doctor, but still we want him to work under his guide, under his supervisor, under his HOD, under his faculty, and to understand, to observe the thing precisely, whatever you have said, that something which is exactly, or which is the homeopathy behind the words. That is something very important. But how a student can learn, because all these things comes out of experience only, and you cannot expect a novice or a new student or a new PG scholar to develop such kind of skill. These kind of skills can only be learned when the students are exposed to a good quality faculty, to a good quality teacher like you. But how many teachers are working so vigorously or so laboriously? The problem is that even in a PG college, we do understand what the situation is. I don't want to expel out everything on the social media platform, but we do understand what exactly the situation is about the PG colleges, how they are running. So unless, if we really want to focus on quality, where whatever provisions we have made, unless our institutions are working honestly, unless they are running the PG education the way it should be, and the teacher are providing the kind of education we require, the kind of supervision a new student require, we cannot really achieve our target. And that's something is really important, and it's really required. This is what I really wanted to add from my side.
Very rightly said, Dr. Takeshwar. And Dr. Muktinder Singh said, what you said is that the quality of a physician with observation, that how he perceives a case, that totally makes a difference. If you go on the, calculating that symptom, totality of symptoms by numbering of but the depth of the symptom, what has been taken by the doctor, that would make a lot of difference, and ultimately the result would be also accordingly, the way he has taken up. Thank you very much. And Dr. M.K. Sahni, sir, how important is the Guru Shishya tradition in developing a mature and ethical homeopathic physician, and how can it be revived in the digital age? Dr. Sahni, sir? सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही, नहीं क्लियर नहीं है सर।
अभी ठीक है,
बेटर। नहीं सर आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी। डॉक्टर सानी सर, आपका शायद माइक में कुछ इशू है क्या?
मेरे को लगता है उनका ड्रॉप हो गया कनेक्शन, ही इज नॉट इनटू द रूम, मे बी some I think there's a brand some internet issue.
Maybe. So shall we go further?
Yes, you can ask next question to Dr. Karthik.
In the meantime, that Dr. Sani sir comes back. Hello.
I'm able that.
Okay. ठीक है sir.
Gupta, I am audible now.
Yeah. Now it's better.
This is nice questions for me. So this is nice question for me, that the Guru Shishya tradition has always been one of the strongest pillar of medical learning in India. As we know, and during my time, when I was a teacher, I was working in the active teachers in the college. I saw that there some teachers are very popular and some teachers are not so popular. And among the popularity lies that
this network is.
Dr. Sani sir, आपका आवाज चला गया फिर?
Yes, network is not working properly, sir.
I think there's some issue with your mic or internet. Okay, we'll take up this question again once, I mean,
Hello.
is it
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Doctor?
I think, so in my own, I will continue with me.
Okay.
Whatever content I developed was not learned only from the but from observing my teachers, how they spoke to patients, how they studied the case, and how they approached the medicines. A true teacher does not only transfer information, he is so weak now. Uh, a true teacher does not only transfer the information, he shapes character, discipline, and vision. So that is why Guru Shishya tradition remains relevant today. To revive, we must encourage mentorship program, create a promote long-term academic relationship between the teachers and student. Technology should assist learning, but it should never be replaced the human guidance. Homeopathy is not merely a science of prescription.
रानी
जी
सर आपका फिर डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया।
अब मेरे ख्याल वो आप नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन डॉक्टर तर्केश्वर से पूछ लो,
हाँ।
वी आर रनिंग आउट ऑफ टाइम। फिर सर आएंगे ना तो
Network is
दोनों आंसर इकट्ठे दे देंगे।
Dr. Sani sir, shall I go with the next question?
I'm back, but network is giving me the problems.
हाँ, तो कोई बात
Technology
नहीं
should
सर, हम
assist
तब
learning, but it should never replace human. Okay. So you can. My last word is that homeopathy is not merely a science of prescription; it is a science of observation, patience, and compassion. Quality that is transmitted to the living examples. So, in short, I made my lecture short because
very rightly said, sir. So, Dr. Takeshwar sir, what policy reforms of institution changes do you believe are essential for strengthening the global credibility of homeopathy?
So the most important one is the research indeed. Unless we develop a good research base and research infrastructure, we cannot develop a global credibility. We do understand what's happening on the global scenario. One of the important aspects, if we look in the global scenario, is the need for standardization. In 2023, we developed a global benchmark for homeopathy, and we submitted the document to the World Homeopathic Organization also. Still, it is being waited and awaited for the publication. But what we looked upon that in any part of the world you go, there are different way, different parameters and different standards and different way of teaching homeopathy. In India, we have a regulated system. We have a regulated phenomena. Our colleges are regulated. There is a structured way of teaching in homeopathy. But when you go abroad, when you go Europe, America, or any other country you go, there is no uniformity. In fact, homeopathy is taught as a part-time phenomena, as a weekly classes. So there is no standardized pattern of teaching anywhere in the world like we have in India. Very few countries are there which are having this structured way of education as we have in India. So that uniformity is certainly required. And unless that uniformity is developing, we cannot contribute to the research. The problem is that if you still open the definition of homeopathy from the Wikipedia, we are being tagged as the pseudoscience. Now, this is a very big challenge. And I just give you one more example. Recently, an article was published in the Science Direct, and earlier also many articles were published in the Lancet, also in the Science Direct, also where the term homeopathy was not used. Rather, it was alternated with a I just read a caption of one of the article recently published in Science Direct, a biogenic computational framework for designing synergistic antimicrobial silver nanodrugs. Now, this is a very important article where the competency of our system is reflected for combating antimicrobial resistance. We do understand AMR is a big challenge and there can be no good answer than homeopathy for AMR. But the problem is that this article is published in the Science article, which is widely circulated all over in the medical fraternity. But the term homeopathy is not being accepted. Now, this is a big challenge. Either they are using the biogenic component or they are using the ultra dilution. They are sparing themselves of using the term homeopathy because they do understand the term homeopathy brings the picture of a pseudoscience. Now, how this can be challenged? Unless we have a very good, strong research infrastructure, we have the evidence-based case report. And that is the reason why we have made every student to publish case report as per the care guideline. There are specified home care guidelines. Unfortunately, neither our practitioners are knowing about these guidelines, nor our students are working upon it. Now, unless you prepare your case report on the basis of care guidelines, your article will not be accepted in an indexed or peer-reviewed journal. Publishing article in the conference magazine, in the scientific magazines, or in the magazines which claim themselves to be peer-reviewed, but we do understand they are not peer-reviewed. Unless the research articles are published in the journal which are having the very high impact factor. Impact factor is purely rational to the amount of or the number of time the article is being referred globally. Unless the article from any particular journal is referred globally, it doesn't capture the required impact factor. Unfortunately, the best journal in homeopathy that we have in India is the Journal of Indian Journal of Research in Homeopathy, published by the CCRH. Can you believe the impact factor of CCRH journal is still 1.7, which is very low in comparison to the high quality medical journals. Now, unless our researches, unless our publications, our case reports are reaching to the high levels of journal, it won't generate any kind of global influence. And if global influence is not generated, then it won't be accepted by the other system or by the global statutory bodies like WHO or any other global bodies, unless our research articles are of that quality. But unfortunately, and we know that this gap can easily be bridged. Writing an article is not a difficult phenomenon. Only thing required is the proper guidance. If we have made provision for the Department of Research Methodology in the PG education also and in the undergraduate education, the purpose is to develop such kind of research article, because we every day we are doing research in our PG students, our UG scholars, our interns, all are engaged in research, but unfortunately the proper guidelines are not followed. Recently, I went in one of the college of the southern area and found that most of the studies that are being taken up by the students are on the topics for which already homeopathy is established, like role of homeopathy in acute tonsillitis, role of homeopathy in chronic tonsillitis, role of homeopathy in lifestyle diseases, role of homeopathy in dermatological disorder. Now everybody knows. We have hundreds of articles, thousands of books where we know that homeopathy is very effective in eczema or in the psoriasis or any other dermatological condition. What special you can achieve unless your research is designed in such a way which can easily be picked up and converted in a good article, unless we have the randomized control trial or any experimental intervention or any observational study will not yield much of the thing unless it is being done on the rather we go for the RCTs, or we go for there is one new term nowadays, the real world evidence. Unless we go for the cross-sectional studies, we cannot develop such kind of articles or such kind of quality dissertation which is required to be placed in good quality article. The journals like PubMed, the journals like Science Direct or the Lancet, they cannot accept any homeopathic article unless the research is conducted in a proper manner and the outcome is really having some fruitful impact and it is being designed in a proper way. And entire every guideline is available. Every college is given knowledge about the home care guideline, about the research protocols, about the synopsis protocols, about the dissertation protocol. But the problem is that all these things are running on paper only. We have many agencies which are producing dissertation for the students, writing synopsis for the students. So no good quality work is coming out. And unless that good quality work is coming out and published in good articles, we certainly cannot develop global credibility. And that is where every homeopath need to work upon. Recently, we published an elective on good clinical practice. I just want to give information through your platform about it to the practitioner also, that on our education portal, recently we have placed GCP guideline, good clinical practice guideline, which give you guidelines about your practice also, but at the same time, it motivates you, it guides you about the publication also, how you can publish or convert your success in a good article. All these are there on the website of the commission on the ICE education portal. This is mandatory for the PG student, and we have now opened this for the every general practitioner. But unfortunately, very few practitioners have completed this course. So I request you that whoever are the members of IFPH are there, please go to the commission website. There you can find the IS education portal where we are hosting this GCP guidelines so that more and more people can understand how they can convert their work into a good research article. CCRH is also working upon that. They have their own case treasury where very few people are posting the cases. Even Ministry of Ayush has a very good vertical where they are inviting case reports, case articles, but very few people are publishing article on that. And unless the quantum of article, good article is getting heavy, we cannot reach to the statutory body which are working on the one level, and we cannot develop the required global credibility. But this is the one gray area where we really need to work upon constantly and rigorously. This is what I think about, sir.
Well, Dr. Zakashir, what you said is very nice, but I have got just one thing to ask and say. Like whatever we have put on your NCH website, if, as you said in the very first question, the collective witness of the fraternity. So what I think, I mean, it's just my word which I would like to share. Key associations, there are number of associations of homeopathy which are ready to take such kind of things, provided they are given the opportunity or the information. If this information is given to the at least to the associations, so association people can pass to their members. Because as you said, it is very rightly, it is there. But how many of us really go to the website of NCH and would like to see? If you go to the NCH, website is full of number of things. So nobody, a practitioner, I'm talking about a general practitioner, who is interested, but he doesn't know how to do it. So if we can bridge the gap between the NCH and to the common practitioner, but through the associations. If you people or if the NCH or association combine together at different levels and tell all these things to the association, maybe at HAMAI, maybe other one, and then each association can pass it on to their members through their states or through their units. I think then we can reach to the common practitioner, because having everything on the website, and how many are going to visit the website? And if they're not visiting the website, they would not come to know what is there. And the purpose of which you have, wanting it, it remains again unsolved.
Sir, what we have done recently, that during recent WSD also, we had a very separate session for the practitioners also. And there also we demonstrated this module to all the practitioners. Then beside that, we have sent link to all the councils of states, all the colleges, and even mails are sent to all the organizations also. I don't know whether it has been overlooked or it hasn't come in the cognizance of the association. I do understand there can be a little bit of communication gap between us and association, but I assure you, sir, on the next working day itself, we will send link to all the important association of
Yes.
India, including HAMAI, because we know HAMAI has the biggest network of units all over India. So we will certainly send link of that particular GCP elective to all the association, and we want your support so that more and more people go. It's a very simple elective. One has to study for 22 hours, and they have to pay a bit of 500 rupees for completing this course. But this will certainly give a very good guideline about not only about the good clinical ethical practice, but about the way articles can be published in a better way. Besides that, CCRH has also generated a lot of awareness about their SCC portal. I don't know how much practitioners are aware about that SCC portal. But if you go on the SCC portal, and if you put up your case records over there, then there would be a very good database generated over there. And if a good quality database is generated on the CCRH website, that would certainly be referred some or other time by the global authorities also. So this is indeed a collective work, and wherever we are lacking, we will certainly improve at our part. But at the same time, we need support from you guys also.
Certainly. As far as Secretary General of HAMAI, I can say that we have got a full support to all the NCH, and because our main aim is the welfare of the homeopathy and homeopaths. So wherever we can club together, things will be better off. Can we have the next question or the time is over?
Yes, sir. We have to conclude, sir.
We have to conclude?
Yeah.
Just 3 minutes remaining, sir. Just 1 minute.
All right, because I mean, sorry, I got the ultimatum from Dr. Dhanesh sir that we have to conclude because of the time. And I must say my sincere thanks to all the panelists, especially Dr. Takeshwar Jain, Dr. Muktinder Singh, and Dr. M.K. Sani sir for their very enriching, things which they have told us and which we need to learn and get it from them. That what are the things to be done, which we can do collectively, which we can expect from the authorities, but ultimate aim remains the same. The homeopathy should become a first line of treatment and should be accepted as for its efficacy and non-toxicity, rather than only people think that homeopathy is, they try when they have tried everything and they say, chalo, abhi kuch, if there's going to be no harm, so let's take homeopathy in that. So we need to change that trend, and not only for the economic reason also. So that today's discussion has reminded us that the future of homeopathy will not depend only on medicine or institution, but on the character, vision, and commitment of the people who carry it forward. We heard about the importance of preserving philosophy while embracing the scientific progress, maintaining ethics amidst commercialization, strengthening education, and nurturing compassion, clinical practice. With this, we'd like to convey thanks to the IFPH for giving us this opportunity, and we look forward the new millennium demands not only technology, informed physicians, but also emotionally intelligent healers who understand the individuality of the each and every patient, the total core of homeopathy. On behalf of Homeopathic Medical Association of India and IFPH, I express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed panelists, Dr. Takeshwar Jain, Dr. Muktinder Singh, and Dr. M.K. Sani. And Dr. Dhanesh, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to being a moderator of this very important panel. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for this.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you all for joining the session. Tomorrow we have a session from Professor Muktinder Singh, and sir will be talking about homeopathic perspectives of insecurity. Hope all of you will join tomorrow at the same time. Thank you all.
Thank you.